Hello all, I am Namal Jayathilake, VP Engineering Axiata Digital Labs. Today I'll be talking about evolution of telecommunication service providers from legacy to digital. In my presentation, I'll be focusing on why telcos need to be digitally enabled, typical challenges of a traditional telco, the evolution of traditional telco, the technology architecture evolution, as well as roles of tech teams in a digital telco. Then finally, I'll be touching upon emerging digital business models and how to leverage those. Let's try to understand why telcos need to be digitally enabled. A typical telco is sandwiched between their own telco customers as well as the telco solution product suppliers. If we focus on a typical telco customer, they are influenced by various competitive products as well as the OTT services and the rich experience provided by OTTs. Hence, usually telco customers demand for better experience and personalized services. They use multiple devices as well, and they use multiple channels to interact, and they expect a seamless journey across these multiple devices and channels. They demand for real-time services as well. If we focus on a telco solution provider or a supplier, they have evolved from the legacy telco world, and lately they are being challenged by software-driven players. Usually, these entities run massive R&D cycles, lengthy R&D cycles, because they need to make sure the product solutions they are providing is with necessary resilience and telco grade. Hence, they need massive R&D investment. Now, if you take the telco, they are sandwiched between their customer demands and supply challenges. Further, they face own set of challenges within the telco. There are no more killer features to generate exponential revenues and margins. However, they need big investments to keep up with rate of change of technology. It's a challenging task to invest with stagnated revenues and lower margins. However, telcos still own set of very strategic assets, and they hold the key of providing uninterrupted connectivity and coverage with necessary speeds and quality. If they can become digitally enabled to provide rich experience demanded by customers and enable ecosystem partnerships to expand boundaries, they can tap into new revenue streams with higher margins, which is currently enjoyed by external digital service providers running on their own telco network. What are the typical challenges of a traditional telco to become digitally enabled? Usually, there's a lot of demand for new features, better user experience from their usual retail customers or enterprise customers. Then, telco employees work with their partners to deliver these new features and experiences to their customers. Usually, they follow a classic waterfall model. They understand the requirement, then they check the feasibility, then they go through some clarifications, then they sometimes, based on the technical capability, alter the business requirement, and part of the requirement lands on partners or suppliers as a change request. However, both telco employees and partners are dealing with a very complex BSS ecosystem when it comes to change, changes or alterations to the current feature set or integrations. Let's zoom in and see what happens in a traditional BSS when implementing a new feature. Usually, multiple CRs required on various BSS components when it comes to these feature implementations. Sometimes a complete new system need to be introduced to fulfill the feature requirement, or usually both, doing multiple CRs on BSS elements as well as introducing new modules to the ecosystem. This makes the BSS ecosystem even more complex because these BSS components are integrated in a mesh network, and usually these changes adds more and more complexity and burden and stress to the teams who are managing these systems. And usually this increases the TCO because there's a development cost involved and operational cost as well. And it takes a lot of time to do multiple CRs on multiple BSS elements and integrate it with existing channels and introduce new components to the ecosystem. End of the day, sometimes even with this number of changes, the telco might not be able to match the exact requirement of the customer. And it usually takes much longer than expected when it comes to customers to get the feature. So this adds even additional pressure on revenues and margins. And overall, lot of burden stress on telco employees teams, which limits the innovation and time spent they can spend on new technologies. While telcos are struggling with revenues and providing a unique digital experience for their customers, OTTs, while consuming these core telco services, operates with a completely different DNA. It is interesting to study what are they doing differently and what we can learn from them. Their prime objective is basically to provide a customer experience driven service. To do that in a much faster and agile manner, they are maintaining the core stack in a much simpler and loosely coupled manner. They have fairly a simple yet powerful software-centric open API-based flexible stack to provide these custom experience-driven services in a much faster manner. Usually the stack is a collection of microservices communicating to each other via APIs and consuming analytic capabilities again as APIs. The stack is integrated with the digital engagement channels again through APIs, hence the journey management and the flexibility available to manage these journeys is much better. The stack supports latest software development tools and technologies like CI/CD. Hence, the flexibility of the stack to try things out, fail fast, or be successful with that service or the product is much better. Overall, the TCO is much lower and the agility is much higher to deliver customer experience driven services. And since the stack is a flexible, loosely coupled stack and an API driven integration, it has the native ability to play with develop ecosystems and ecosystem partners. Hence, the potential to partner with other ecosystem players is much higher. What can telcos learn from OTTs? It's pretty obvious that the legacy BSS architecture they are having does not help them to cope up with various customer expectations and complex enterprise offerings. How can they evolve their BSS architecture while preserving the telco uniqueness is an interesting question. Basically, they need the speed at customer experience and the digital service layer and resilience and stability at the core BSS layer. If they can create an OTT-like layer on top of their core BSS capabilities, that would help them to maintain the necessary resilience and the stability at core layer while consuming those capabilities to create digital services and unique customer experience in an OTT-like environment and offer these services to their customers in a much faster manner and address the digital customer experience demanded by customers. They can publish more and more BSS core capabilities as APIs towards the upper layer and create more and more digital services to satisfy various customer expectations, and complex enterprise openings. Further, they can absorb some of the core BSS functionalities into this microservice-based layer itself, while further shrinking the core BSS layer, which is the low-speed layer. This will help them to orchestrate things in a much faster and a flexible manner to provide better customer engagement and experience using all the digital channels. It's a significant transformation for a telco from a verticalized mesh integrated legacy BSS system to a layered and decoupled stack. The core BSS capabilities is limited to main functions such as rating, charging, policy management, and so on. Mid-layer is a high-speed telco-ready CI/CD driven stack to support rapid service development and channel orchestration. Upper layer is the digital channel layer, which harness full capability of microservice layer seamlessly. The mid layer is full microservice based, hence promote rapid prototyping and reusability. All capabilities are exposed as APIs, hence the stack support partnering with other ecosystem players in a much more flexible and seamless manner. Since telcos take care of majority of changes required to churn out new digital services and digital experiences, the telco solution providers or suppliers can focus on getting core systems ready for next major industry trends such as 5G or IoT. Just transforming the BSS stack or technology architecture will not give expected results. The team behind running the telco should be transformed as well. The key mindset shift expected is from telco to telco plus software mindset. This will open up a complete new set of capabilities for teams to manage the digital transformation with minimum business risk and people dependency. Teams should be encouraged to create solutions rather than procuring boxes as much as possible. Standard core BSS system capabilities can be, of course, procured from suppliers, but the innovation should happen at the peripheral digital layer by creating solutions on top of the capabilities exposed and the set available. The classic waterfall delivery method followed by telcos for so long should be transformed gradually to agile methodologies. The agile teams from various business functions and departments such as IT, business units, and PMO and customer service can work as one team focusing on MEPs and incremental improvements in sprints. A clear product vision is set by the product owner with the focus on UXP. The focus and emphasis on user experience will introduce things like alpha beta releases and teams like UI UX teams dedicated to improve the user experience continuously along with agile project teams. Further, there are a set of new roles emerging in a telco organization to manage the digital transformation. For example, Chief Digital Officer, CTIO, and Chief Innovation Officer, Chief Products Officer, Chief Data Officer. These are some of the roles we hear lately within the telcos to manage the digital transformation related complexities. Technology architecture evolution coupled with change of roles and transformation of teams and the way of working will help telcos to focus on customer-centric, experience-driven end products. Further, these products can be digital multi-channel enabled and there can be seamlessly orchestrated customer journeys, which will provide a much better experience for telco customers. Further, they can try things out in a much faster manner and fail fast and cheap and iterate until they are successful with the product or the service. The TTM is much faster due to lower number of CRs an MVP-based incremental approach they follow in agile development. The overall cost is much lower since they are delivering the customer experience-based outcomes with the services focused on delivering a better experience for customers in a much faster development cycle. With capabilities exposed as API, they get the native ability to play with developers and ecosystem partners, which is an added advantage of the transformation. Let's look at the digitized telco business model. How does it look like? Usually, any telco will have B2C business as well as B2B business. Let's first focus on B2C business, where they offer a set of services directly to consumers. Usually, a legacy telco will offer the basic telco services such as data, voice, SMS, or VAS. However, when they are digitally enabled, they will have much better digital capabilities to be offered to these consumers. Better user experience, digital bundling, insights, digital goods are some of them. This will help telcos to offer much enriched telco service experience and various digital products for their consumers. Further, since the stack supports exposing telco capabilities to wider community, they can expose these core telco capabilities to developer communities. They can create additional unique personalized long tail services for these consumers. That will be a unique experience because this is created in a much more personalized manner, addressing niche segments. All these services can be offered through digital channels as well as legacy channels. The stack supports seamless channel orchestration as well as customer journey orchestration. Hence, the channel experience or the journey experience for customers will be much more enriched and seamless. Now let's focus on B2B business where telcos offer services to other enterprises. So in usual case, they will offer a set of data, voice, SMS, or VAS services to enterprises as well. Additionally, they can offer telco as a service. But with the digital enablement, they can offer digital enablement as a service itself. This will help especially servicing enterprises to get themselves digitally enabled. Basically, the digital enablement capabilities bundled with connectivity and cloud native services will help the enterprises to create services in a rapid manner and use the orchestration technologies used within the telco to get their digital enablement going. Further, this digital enablement as a service can be offered to partners also. This will help telcos to partner with multiple outside ecosystem partners, hyperscalers, digital solution providers, content creators, OTTs, value chain partners to create end-to-end digital solutions. Those can be offered to enterprises. These three set of services or product variants, telco as a service, digital enablement as a service, and end-to-end digital solutions will basically complete the telco offerings. Those can be offered to enterprises in their B2B business. Further, especially end-to-end digital solutions will help telcos to earn additional revenue as well as better margins. The telco as well as partners and the community, all these three entities can further monetize the assets they have created in a common telco marketplace. They can publish these innovative services in a marketplace so that anyone who is interested in a similar service can basically explore in the marketplace and consume if the service is appealing for them. So this will generate additional revenue towards partners and telco solution provider also. So overall, this is a connected ecosystem, a connected business model, which will help multiple parties involved to monetize their assets and generate additional revenues and businesses. On top of new business opportunities, the digital evolution will help telcos to get a significant operational efficiency as well as an enablement of innovations further. This will help simplification and automation of processes, data and customer-centric decisions, rapid innovation cycles, partnering flexibility to create extended ecosystems, and ultimately the optimal utilization of assets. Overall, it is a complex and challenging journey for telcos, but a rewarding one. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you.